Yo guys, what's going on? It's Catman227 here, and I'm back with some more gameplay breakdown. Now, today we're going over Genji. And, yeah, okay. So a lot of people are not gonna like this video because, unfortunately, at least in my opinion, and in my overall experience, Genji is absolutely goddamn useless in this game mode. So, because it doesn't really matter how much you double jump. At the end of the day, we are fighting AIs, and AIs have an auto lock to you. So it doesn't really matter how much you jump around or try to evade. You will still get hit the same as you would with any other character. So keep in mind as we go through this, there's always someone better that you could be using that does more damage or more just do a better job at killing the Zomnics, or just doing better than Genji. Genji is unfortunately just not very good for this mode, and I guess that's probably why they put him in here, because it doesn't really hurt or benefit anyone by having a Genji. But hopefully by sharing this information with you guys, you'll be able to actually put Genji to some use. I have used Genji plenty of times, in this game mode, and I've seen tons of randoms, and even some of my friends use Genji, and he's just never really that good, no matter who's playing him. So, I don't know. But I do know how to effectively use him to his maximum potential, which I'm going to share with you guys right now. So, Genji, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Genji has a very wide melee range. Probably one of the widest in the game. So, spamming melee is easily one of the best tricks that I can teach you. Now, this applies not only in PvE, but also in PvP. Melee, if you're up close, is so much better than using secondary or primary fire, because it's an easy 30 damage. So if you can just use primary fire, dink the Zomnics in the head, get them to low health, then just finish them off with a melee attack. And you can hit multiple targets with one melee attack with Genji if the circumstances line up correctly. So spamming melee and double jumping over their head and shooting downwards at them is definitely a really good option, especially if you can land consistent amount of headshots. But I find that Genji is not very good versus bosses. He does very few damage. I mean, you can deflect a lot of Reaper shots back at him, which I do here, which does help out a lot, but other than that, he's not really all that good for bosses. As for his Swift Strike, what you can do with that is you can get a bunch of Zomnics down to low health. The quickest way, because he's simply crowd control. Genji's all about the crowd control. All about it. Like, with Genji, you should not be worrying about bosses at all. Like, you should purely be going for crowd control, killing the Zombarators, killing the Zomnics. And the best way that I know to do that is get a lot of them to low health, and then Swift Strike through all of them. And you get your Swift Strike back instantly, so then you can slash again if you have to. And Dragon Blade does a lot of damage. It can one-shot a Riptire, as you just saw there, and it can two-shot most of the Omnics. And I think you can hit multiple targets with it. I haven't quite tested that, so I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure you can hit multiple Zomnics with it. Now, this is kind of an advanced trick. I cannot do this personally, but I've seen some randoms do this, and I've seen a couple of my friends that main Genji do this as well, where if Junkenstein comes out and he's shooting his grenades out, you can actually take the grenade, deflect the grenades back at either the monster or the witch or even the summoner. If you're good enough, you can actually deflect all of his bombs back at Zomnics or other bosses. And it works tremendously if you can pull it off. And, I mean, it doesn't really hurt to go for it, but the reason why I say that he's kind of trash is because there's always someone better you could be going as. Like, Soldier. Soldier would be such a better option. Now, I do get nanobladed here, and nanoblade is really good in this mode. Really the only reason you should ever go Genji is for nanoblade. It does super high amounts of damage to bosses. It can mow bosses down quickly as hell, especially if it's a summoner or even the witch. I used it against the Roadhog, but that's because that was the only boss out there, and Ana just so happened to nano boost me at that time. But nanoblade is super good. If you're gonna run Genji, you should probably have an Ana too. Like, for those of you out there who are healer mains or something like that, if you're gonna play this game mode and you see a Genji, you should probably be going Ana to nanoblade because it is so powerful. And if you're gonna survive like really high rounds in endless, nanoblade is definitely something you want to do. And most pro Genji players will know this. Whenever you use nanoblade, it's really important that you use Swift Strike in order to deal more damage. So if you're going to take down a Roadhog with nanoblade, not only should you be slashing him with the nanoblade, but you should also, whenever you get a chance, Swift Strike through him and then turn around and start hitting him again. Or you can do that with crowd control, because Zomnics and Zombirators go down with one slash from a nanoblade. So if you get nanobladed and there's a lot of Zomnics, you should be going for the crowd control mostly. If you really need to take on a Mercy in this game mode, or the Witch I should say, then nanoblade works tremendously to kill her. But that should be your only target most of the time. Like, you should save nanoblade for the Witch when she comes up, because she's main priority to kill, because she's the healer. Obviously you want to kill her first, because she's always going to heal the Roadhogs, and if you kill both the Roadhogs first, then they're going to mercy chain each other if there's two of them. So if you're going to last pretty high rounds, what you should do is do the nanoblade, kill either the Mercy, but if there's no Mercies to kill, then your secondary option would be kill Zombirators and Zomnics with nanoblade. And all you'd need to do is get a kill, slash, get a kill, slash, get a kill, slash, get a kill, slash, because every time you get a kill, you get your slash back. So, and most Genji players will know how to do that. I personally am not good at Genji at all. Like, I know how to play him, it's just pulling it off is the problem. And I don't know, I just feel like his damage is fairly weak compared to somebody like McCree, who can clear the entire battlefield, a nano-boosted Soldier, which can do the same thing. Even an Ashe, like a nano-boosted Bob, is still so much better of an option. Especially if you're running a Zenyatta, who's doing a lot of damage with Discord and things like that. It piles up. If you're good, his blades do a lot of damage towards the Riptire. So if you can kill the Riptire with Genji, then by all means, if you see the opportunity to do it, then just primary fire if it's far away, secondary fire if it's up close, hell, even melee. That works too. But, I mean, like I said, if you see the Riptire, just go ahead and take it out. But, the thing you really want to be focused on is double jumping a lot, and if there's a massive pileup of Zomnics, then you should nanoblade and kill all the Zomnics. But if there's a Mercy, that's your first target, if that makes sense. You don't want to work on crowd control when there's Mercies, because then obviously the Mercies are going to heal the bosses, and it's going to take longer for you to deal with the bosses. So like right here, this is where you would want the nanoblade. We do not do it here, I don't think, because Ana used it previously, but I popped my dragon anyway just to cut her down, and I focused the Mercy. But if I had a nanoblade, we'd have probably got her to much lower health than that, and potentially even killed her much sooner. And the faster you kill the Mercy, the better. But his deflect against a Roadhog is not very good in this mode, because obviously it's the AI, and the AI knows when you're using deflect, and it knows not to throw the hook out. It'll still shoot you, you can still deflect its bullets back at it, or even at the Mercy, but I mean, what good does that really do? Like, it doesn't really do a whole lot of damage when you could be using someone else that does even more damage. But, and it doesn't, you can deflect the hook. The problem is the AI knows when you're going to deflect the hook. So it waits until it's on cooldown. The AI is smart like that. But Yeah, it's Genji is not the best of options. He can work in certain situations, but you need to use these tips to, like, if you're going to use him in endless, he's mainly crowd control, and he should be using pretty much all of his abilities to cut down Zomnics. But if you have enjoyed, like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know which character you'd like me to cover next, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Later.